Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for January 2nd, 2020. All right, Q's up 1.67% there. SPY almost up 1%. Okay, coming into today, we talked about how we had an hourly pivot here, and that if we took that out, back to bullish. Okay, when we got this red bar early in the week, I said, it's not that we haven't seen this before. We've seen this, a strong uptrend, a short temporary break. When that break gets negated, the pivot that follows the break gets negated, we go back to bullish, right? So you can see there, wide range red bar puts in a pivot, did get some follow through. Once that pivot gets taken out, big uptrend to follow. Okay, and then we got a very similar one here. Okay, so we gapped up today over that pivot, back to bullish. And the reason that the sell-off was expected to be short, as in hours or days, is that the weekly, the monthly remain all out bullish, all out uptrends. Okay, so decent sized gap up today in the market, continuing the move up. Okay, so going into tomorrow, probably don't need me to tell you, but gonna be bullish on the market. What we can watch for now is see if the market starts to accelerate. Okay, if it starts to get more extended here on the daily, right? We got a little bit of a pullback here, so we're going to need to see this start to put in some wider bars, potentially, right? Some kind of acceleration. And then we could put in some kind of high that will give us a more pronounced pullback than what we just got this week, okay, prior to today's high, okay? So we can watch for the acceleration now, or any kind of maybe surprise gap down, but those are the only things I would be watching for, anticipating that would change our bullish bias going into tomorrow, okay? Or even in the days and weeks to come, because the weekly, the monthly still remain very, very strong, okay? All right, into today's plays. Now, I told the room this as well. If you're looking to get your pre-market process to be thorough and complete, now is a really good time, because we don't have that many gaps to rate and to rank. So what to focus on at the open should be as easy as it's going to get, and it'll be much more time consuming when earnings season comes and we have a lot more gaps to evaluate. Okay, now the reason that I say that also is because, that's kind of one of the nice things about being in the off season. We have probably a couple weeks until earnings season, is that what we focus on a lot comes from the gap, and there's not that many to focus on. Okay, so favorite gap up for the room today was the BILI. And James put out an idea on this 1 minute high-low breakout right there. So that was really, really impressive. Wish I'd caught that. That was really nice. And then Sammy called the SIG, which was the favorite gap down. Okay, gap down and got sold. So, you can believe me or say I'm just kind of saying all this after the fact, but if you were here on Tuesday, especially if you were in the room, you would know that the favorite gap up on Tuesday was the MTOR, and the favorite gap down in the pre-market was the CLB, and those ended up being the two plays called on Tuesday. So now is a really good time to start getting that process nice and solid. Then when there's a bunch of gaps to evaluate, it won't take you hours to do it, okay? So right now, maybe it takes you 15, 20 minutes to go through every gap, go through the gap criteria and rate them, right? And then that'll help inform you which one is ready to go. Because honestly, you know, if you're not ready to go, even I didn't miss this BILI, right? And especially if you don't know what to focus on in the morning, there's almost no way you're going to catch this, right? SIG gave us a good amount of time. It got sold off. Maybe you could have played it at the open. That would have been a nice play. I didn't play this one, right? We played on this sell setup. And something like the CLB yesterday also gave a lot of time, right? So even if maybe you didn't do your work in the pre-market that you're supposed to, you're definitely not going to be catching the initial drop. But, you know, this you can kind of get caught up and catch. But, you know, that's not going to happen every day where this gives you hours to catch the move, okay? So, you know, it's no surprise, I think, that the things that we've been saying in the pre-market are the favorites, right, end up being what become plays, right? Because we pick a bias based on the app, and then when we actually get some kind of semblance of an entry pattern, gives us a chance to have an entry price and a stop price, then that's when it's time to initiate the position, okay? So, you know, we still have a couple weeks until things get a lot busier, a lot more hectic. So if you're looking for a chance to sharpen your methodology, right, you can check out the turnaround trader formula, you can check out TPM, or, you know, you can just check out the room, ask questions, and get familiar with the process, okay? Because now is a really good time, because by the time earnings season gets here, trying to kind of implement something new is going to be really, really tough when there are kind of trades going on, you know, every minute or so, and multiple trades going on at the open. Right now, it's kind of nice. I think it's kind of nice. I think some people may feel like it's really slow or there's not a lot of things to do. I kind of like it this way, where we pick out one or two favorites in the morning, and if they set up, they set up. If they don't set up, then they don't become a play. And, you know, fortunately, the favorites lately give us nice setups. So it's kind of no reason not to take them, okay? So in the trader formula, we go over the criteria on how to rate and rank the gap, right? What things we should be looking for, shock value, location, long-term trend, short-term trend, right? As well as the entry patterns. How do I know if I already decided this is a good pro gap down that I want to play short? How do I know when I should initiate that position and where my stop should go? Okay, so it's a really good time to kind of, while there aren't a lot of things to do, kind of start to practice it and then be ready to go in just a couple weeks. Okay? All right. Hope you did well today. All right, that's going to do it for today's market wrap. Tomorrow, you know, we'll do the same thing. Even if it's slow, even if there's not a lot of things to trade, we'll figure out what the favorites are. If they set up, they set up. If not, then that's fine. But that will kind of close out the week tomorrow. All right, so I thought that the last, this week has been pretty nice. The things that we've been focusing on have been following through pretty well, so hope that continues. Bullish bias going into tomorrow. There's a couple of things we could watch for that will potentially lead to changing that, acceleration or a large gap down. But other than that, I'm expecting continuation of this uptrend. All right. So that's going to do it for today's market wrap. All right, we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Have a good evening.